Hello everyone and welcome back to the world of finance. You are watching Finance Concepts with Nikhil. Friends, I am committed over here to provide to you important contents in the field of finance on a regular basis, and so that you should not miss any of my important videos, you just need to do one thing. You need to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned to that channel. And once you subscribe to this channel, just do not forget to turn on that notification bell, and that will keep you posted with all my upcoming videos. In this video, we are going to talk about how to deal with cross currency calculations in Forex. Concept number 5, that is dealing with cross currency. So same example, Bank A has given a quote of USD1 equals to INR 68 and Bank B has given a quote of GBP1 equals to USD 1.35. Now my requirement is, if I want to buy GBP and what I have to provide in exchange is Indian rupee, that means I am interested in buying GBP but I have Indian rupee in my pocket to pay in exchange. I have a need to establish an interrelationship between INR and GBP, and that is where cross currency calculations get involved. So how to do this? Let me first explain you mathematically and then we understand the same thing logically. So determining cross rate between INR and GBP, what you should do is INR per GBP equals to INR per USD into USD per GBP. Let me first explain this term. I want quote of 1 GBP in terms of INR. That means left hand side in this equation indicates my requirement. That means I want quote of 1 GBP in terms of INR. So INR per GBP. Now what I have done, this is equal to INR per USD into USD per GBP. Now from where did I get this? INR per USD I got from Bank A, correct? Check. We have just understood that the same quote USD1 equals to INR 68 can be written in this kind of format, INR per USD. This is what we have talked about in the earlier discussion. And now from Bank A I got INR per USD, from Bank B I am getting USD per GBP. Now friends, when you have a cross multiplication of INR per USD and USD per GBP multiplied, look into one thing. USD is a common currency, right? And it will get cancelled out. And what you will eventually get is INR per GBP. That means in order to find INR per GBP, what you should do is INR per USD multiplied by USD per GBP. So what you get is INR per GBP equals to, now this value INR per USD I told you to obtain from Bank A, and USD per GBP I have asked you to obtain from Bank B. So this will be 68 multiplied by 1.35. So 68 is nothing but expression of INR per USD, and this 1.35 is nothing but USD per GBP. So now mathematically, if I multiply 68 and 1.35, 68 into 1.35, use your calculator and check, you must be getting 91.80. This 91.80 is ultimately what? INR per GBP. So let us rewrite the same thing. INR per GBP will be 91.80, and therefore we can conclude one thing very clearly, that cross rate between INR and GBP will be GBP1 equals to INR 91.80. Friends, it is very important for you to understand this whole calculation, what we have just done over here, not just mathematically and mechanically, but even logically. So in examination, making presentation like this will be preferred, safe way of presenting your solutions. But friends, at the backing of the same mechanism, you should understand the logic behind cross currency calculation. So let us do one thing. as I have just mentioned some time back, that I have Indian rupee in my pocket and I want to buy GBP. I have INR in my pocket, I want to buy GBP. Look into this example, two banks have given quotes. If I want to buy GBP, obviously I'll have to approach bank B. If I approach bank B can provide me 1 GBP, but in turn it is asking 1.35 USD, correct? If bank B is asking 1.35 USD, I don't have USD in my pocket. So bank B simply says, hey boss, go and first get 1.35 USD and then only you can ask from us 1 GBP. Fine. I come out of bank B, I approach bank A and request bank A that I want USD and I have Indian rupee in my pocket to give you. Bank A is fine with exchanging rupee and US dollar. That means what is the quote given by bank A becomes relevant over here. Quote given by bank A, what we can see is USD 1 equals to INR 68. So I demand from bank A that I want USD 1.35 and I have rupees in my pocket to pay in exchange. Indian rupees is what I have to pay. Bank A is definitely fine with that exchange. Now from where did we have a need of 1.35 USD? From bank B, because we need to pay to bank B 1.35 USD to obtain 1 GBP. Ultimately, from bank A, I will have to buy 1.35 USD. Each USD is costing me rupees 68. That means for each USD, I have to pay INR 68. So how many Indian rupee I would pay to buy 1.35 USD? Obviously, 1.35 multiplied by the rate of US dollar, that was rupees 68. So finally, I would pay 1.35 into 68, that is 91.80 Indian rupee to get 1.35 US dollar, then go to bank B, give them 1.35 US dollar and finally get 1 GBP. So look into one thing. To obtain 1 GBP, we had to pay from our pocket Indian rupees 91.80. Alright friends, let us move ahead with the connecting concept, that is concept number 6. We are still dealing with cross currency calculations, but now you may see we are now talking about a two-way quote. That means dealing with cross currency in a two-way quote. Now what is to be learnt over here? While multiplying the exchange rates for cross currency calculation in a two-way quote, bid rate should always be multiplied to bid rate and ask rate should always be multiplied to ask rate. Now anyone reading this line, these lines, okay, would be wondering why we have a need to apply this. What is the need to apply this? So let us understand two things one by one. First thing, why we have a need to apply this concept, and second, what is the reason behind doing that. So why we need this, and when you use this as a concept that bid should be multiplied with bid and ask should be multiplied with ask, why is that so? So let us first talk about the need to apply this. The example that we took some time back, I wanted to buy 1 GBP and what I had to pay in exchange from my pocket was INR. But this exchange could not be made directly because there was no direct quote available with respect to 1 GBP equals to how many INR. And that is why what we had to do is INR per USD multiplied by USD per GBP. We had applied this cross rate to find how many INR to be paid for obtaining 1 GBP. Now look into the information given there. INR per USD was given as 68. USD per GBP was given as 1.35. You simply multiplied. What if I give you two-way quotes? INR per GBP equals to INR per USD into USD per GBP, that equation is fine. But when I inform you that INR per USD is 68 to 69, it's a two-way quote. Likewise, USD per GBP is 1.35 to 1.45. Now, 68 you will multiply to which one? 1.35 or 1.45? Isn't there a confusion? So, the simplest way to deal with this confusion is you simply multiply a bid rate with another bid rate. Never multiply a bid rate with ask rate. And so we have a fundamental thumb rule over here. Initially I am talking about this as a rule, but gradually I will tell you this is an important concept because it also has a reasoning. But first let us understand this as a rule. As a thumb rule, you are going to multiply bid rate with bid rate and ask rate with ask rate. So let us do one thing now. We take a calculative example. We learn how to apply this point, and then we talk about the reasoning why we are multiplying bid with bid and ask with ask. So pay attention on the screen, an example coming up. Let us take up a question from your textbook, that is question number 9. What is given? $1 equals to rupees 45 to rupees 47. It's a two-way quote of dollar in terms of rupee, and pound 1 is given as $1.52 to $1.60. It is again a two-way quote of pound in terms of dollar. And what is required? They say calculate amount of rupee required to buy pound 500 and amount of rupee obtained by selling pound 500. So first thing first, what you need to do? You see, question is demanding you conversion of rupee against pound, right? So you are required to buy pounds, you are also required to sell pounds, and what rupee value would be offered in exchange in either case is what you have to determine. Now, there is no connection of rupee and pound directly given. Connection is available between rupee and dollar and pound. So we will again have to apply cross currency calculation. So let us do one thing first. How to present the answer? Let us first note down. We would begin with rupees per dollar equals to 45 to 47. So we have just written this quote in a different format. What was given was $1 equals to rupees 45 to rupees 47. We have written rupees per dollar as 45 to 47, and likewise dollar per pound as 1.52 to 1.60. Now you have to obtain cross rate for rupee per pound, and for that what we will do is we will take rupees per dollar multiplied by dollar per pound. So rupees per dollar rate is available over here and dollar per pound rate is available over here. But the question is, when you have to multiply this, you would get rupees per pound because dollar will be a common currency getting cancelled out. So when you finally make calculation, you will have to multiply rupee per dollar to dollar per pound. But now look into 45 should be multiplied to 1.52 or 1.60. Likewise 47 should be multiplied to 1.52 or 1.60. So definitely a confusion exists, and to resolve this, what we have just learned, bid rate will be multiplied to bid rate and ask rate will be multiplied to ask rate. Therefore, when you take rupee per pound bid rate, you will take rupee per dollar from here as bid and dollar per pound from here as bid again. So bid getting multiplied to bid only, and when you multiply 45 to 1.52, you get 68.40. And likewise, when you have to calculate rupees per pound ask rate, you are going to multiply 47 with 1.6 because ask will get multiplied to ask. So 47 into 1.60, what you get is 75.20. So what we can finally conclude, two-way quote for pound will be pound 1 equals to rupees 68.40, the bid rate, and rupees 75.20 as the ask rate. Now let us answer the question. Therefore, amount of rupee required to buy pound 500, because we have to buy pound 500, we would apply the ask rate of pound. So it will be 500 multiplied by 75.20, and what you get is rupees 37,600. The next part of the question, amount of rupees obtained on selling 500 pounds. When you sell pounds, you will be applying bid rate, of course. So bid rate of pound is 68.40. So 500 gets multiplied to 68.40, and what you get finally is rupees 34,200. So that was the end of the solution. But now you might be wondering that, sir, when are you ultimately going to tell us that why bid rate was getting multiplied to bid rate and why ask rate was getting multiplied to ask rate? My friends, if you think logically, it is very simple to understand this. Let us take the first case, that we have a need to buy 500 pounds. When I go and buy 500 pounds, you observe one thing. Quote of pound is given in terms of dollar. When I have to buy pounds, obviously I will need to apply ask rate of pound, correct? Ask rate of pound is given as a $1.60. $1.60 is what I have to pay to get 1 pound. My need is to buy 500 pounds. 500 pounds multiplied by 1.60 will require $800 to be paid in exchange. Now that implies if I want to buy 500 pounds, I must give in exchange $800. That means in my pocket, I must have $800 in the first order. But what problem I have is I have Indian rupee in my pocket. So first I have to arrange $800. Now I go to other bank which is providing dollars against rupee. That bank is quoting 45 to 47 as a rate of dollar. Now what I have to do over there? I have to buy $800, correct? Because I have to get $800 arranged through which I will be buying 500 pounds. To buy $800, the applicable rate of dollar will be the ask rate again. That means I'll multiply 800 to 47. So friends, 800 multiplied by 47 will give you, let us check. If I take 800 into 47, I get rupees 37,600. So eventually I will have to pay rupees 37,600 to obtain $800, and then take those $800, provide that to the other bank from whom we can buy 500 pounds ultimately. If you look into the chain of calculation, I initially wanted to buy 500 pounds. I multiplied ask rate of pound as 1.6. I got $800 as a requirement. Then I wanted to arrange $800. Arranging $800 means what? To buy $800. If I have to buy $800, the applicable rate of dollar will again be the ask rate, that was 47. So in the chain of calculation, it was 500 pounds getting multiplied first to 1.6 and then to 47. And my friends, look into the fact, 47 as well as 1.6, both are ask rates. Let us take the other case. That is when I have a need to sell pounds. I approach a bank and sell pounds. To sell pound, when I am a customer, I am selling pounds to the bank. Bank will apply the bid rate, correct? Because bank will buy and as a customer I will sell. So I am selling 500 pounds. Bank will apply bid rate. Bid rate of pound is given as $1.52. What that bank will do, 500 multiplied by 1.52, the bank will hand over to me $760, correct? 500 into 1.52 would give you $760. So I got $760 in my hand. But I don't want 760 US dollar. I basically don't want US dollar. I want Indian rupee. But this bank has given me US dollar. Now what is my need? To get rid of this US dollar, right? I have to sell away this US dollar and get rupees finally. I go to the other banker which has provided the quote of US dollar in terms of Indian rupee. There, the bid rate of US dollar is 45. I will consider that. Why should I consider 45? I should consider 45 because my need is to sell dollars, right? So I again pick the calculator. $760 is what I have in hand, multiplied by 45. Eventually, what I get as Indian rupee in my hand is rupees 34,200. So friends, what we did in that calculation to arrive at 34,200, we first sold 500 pounds and obtained $760. We have applied bid rate. Then we don't want dollars, so we will again sell dollars in exchange of rupees. And when I sell dollars and want to obtain rupee, the dollar rate which is given in terms of two-way quote, to sell dollars I will again apply the bid rate, and bid rate was 45. So in the chain of calculation, 500 first got multiplied to 1.52, then it got multiplied to 45. And friends, both these rates, 45 and 1.52, both were bid rates. So final conclusion is, when you are making cross currency calculations with respect to a two-way quote, bid rate should always be multiplied to bid rate and ask rate should always be multiplied to ask rate.